Welcome to our first brewing tips video. We'll start these videos out with some general kind of philosophical approach-based discussions for this video and maybe next month. And then as we move, we'll move from the general to the specific. We'll move from the philosophical to the practical. So as we progress from month to month in Global Tea and you watch these brewing tip videos, you'll move from understanding how to approach bowl tea versus gong fu tea, what we're after in the two kinds of tea brewings, some different ways of understanding them and sitting down and facing them. And then we'll move from there to the specific, and we'll get into actual brewing tips, actual technique, actual teaware discussions, and we'll take our gong fu forward and we'll take our bowl tea forward in that way. So today we're going to talk a little bit about bowl tea versus gong fu tea and kind of understanding these two brewing methods. Because in the magazine we're always talking about brew this month's tea in a bowl or brew this month's tea gong fu. So bowl tea is about relaxation. It's about letting go. It's about creating sacred ceremonial space. It's not about quality. It's if the tea's too hot or too cold, too strong, too weak, you gotta let that go and be equanimous with it. It's more about creating a space of reverence. And that's juxtaposed to gong fu tea, where the aim is to use skill and mastery to create the finest cup of tea possible. So both of these have slightly different methods of respecting tea. In the first bowl tea, we're respecting and revering tea through sacred intention, through heart space, through mindfulness and reverence, togetherness and oneness, and a kind of relaxation into that, tranquility. And in gong fu tea, we're respecting the tea by bringing out its finest potential, by mastering all the skills necessary to bring out its highest potential in flavor, in aroma, in mouthfeel, in complete experience. Though bowl tea has an emphasis on a meditative experience, on ceremonial sacred experience, and gong fu tea has a more of a focus on sensitivity, right? It's not to say that they don't overlap, that sometimes a bowl of tea isn't smooth and delicious and aromatic, or that sometimes when you're drinking gong fu tea you pick up the cup and rest in meditative space. So gong fu tea is meditative and sacred as much as bowl tea, and bowl tea can be done with great skill. So they definitely have ways that they overlap. This is just a way of talking about their area of focus, their quality. Bowl tea has the quality of facilitating ceremony, ritual, meditative space more directly and fluently, especially for the beginner. And gong fu tea has the quality of facilitating cultivation, progress, sensitivity, and finer brewing skills. But that's not to say that bowl tea doesn't improve your brewing skills or that gong fu tea isn't meditative. They definitely overlap each other, but they have those qualities. You could look even at the muscle groups. When we drink bowl tea, we're using large muscle groups, which is a little bit more relaxed and gross. When we brew gong fu tea, we're using small muscle groups. We're using little muscles in the fingers. We're using smaller, finer muscles even to do the brewing when we brew gong fu tea as opposed to when we brew bowl tea. As we move forward in these brewing tip videos and we progress from the general to the specific and we talk more and more about kinds of teaware and brewing methods and how to refine and make better cups of tea in gong fu tea, or how to create more sacred ceremonial space in bowl tea, we don't want to make it seem as if you have to brew the Global Tea Hut teas in this way. Global Tea Hut is sent to more than 30 countries around the world, and obviously all of you have different kinds of teaware, different heating methods, different water, different brewing methodologies, and maybe different philosophies and approaches to tea. All that we can do is share our tradition and share our brewing methods with you, and if you find them useful, that's great. If you find certain parts of them useful, that's great. Our aim, though, is to educate and improve your ability to enjoy each month's Global Tea Hut tea. Join us as we explore brewing methods, brewing tips from month to month, each issue, through these amazing new videos.